In the Eastern Cape, the Education Portfolio Committee has expressed concern over a shortage of principals in schools. A total of 380 schools in that province have no principals, with 39 having no deputies. The department runs just over 5,000 schools. Eastern Cape Education Spokesperson Malibongwe Mtima joins us now to expand on this. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. To your knowledge, what does the situation look like in terms of a shortage of teachers in the Eastern Cape?
Good afternoon and thanks for having me. In the Eastern Cape, we have about 76 vacant posts currently. Because the ones that we are talking about of the deputy principals and the principals, we've already advertised those and we're currently filling the posts. The 76 is due to those that have been appointed in the positions. Some of them, remember, were deputy principals, some of them were HOD. So this time around, the only thing that we are looking at now is about 76 posts, where we are profiling them so that they can ensure that each and every educator that gets appointed to the right position, with the right qualifications, and at the right time. We're doing this because we have this drive to ensure that schools are capacitated and also distributed to their mandate. Hence, we have made it a priority in the Eastern Cape to ensure that we appoint to those that we appoint people as those vacant posts, so that all the field schools can function efficiently and properly.
Okay, so of the 5,000 schools that you are running, you're only looking for 76 posts to fill and not 1,974?
Not anymore. The issue is, before we closed, we made a presentation to Parliament. We were discussing this, detailing this issue. Upon the presentation, we were given a green light to go ahead and advertise. We advertised those in the local newspapers and, of course, the national newspapers. Subsequent to that, we started filling the posts. Hence, I'm telling you that due to the process of filling those posts that were higher, those that were below, remember, like I even made an example of saying to you, with the number of educators that the number of principals and HOD that we needed. In the level below that, we have about 76 posts. That is what we are currently focusing on now, because we've already finished the one of the principals and the deputies and district offices and whatnot, because we want to ensure that these districts are not only, schools are not only functional, but districts are able to ensure that they support them when there's a need. Hence, we're doing it in all fronts, from the districts, from the schools, from the sector, to ensure that nobody will try and say, I do not have an ETO or I do not have a certain position in school. The issue of these 76 posts, I need to say this to you on record, that the department is trying by all means to ensure that within the next 5 days, we lock it, because I'll say to you on record that we have a database that we extract the principals from. Hence, I was saying to a profile, we attach the names against the profile as we draw them from the database that we have, so that schools can function optimally.
So the portfolio committee and a member of the DA in that portfolio committee is said to have revealed the department has decreased the number of educators employed in the province from 53,605 in the year 2022-2023 to 52,817 in 2023-2024 due to financial constraints. Is this too a lie?
Look, that could be the case, but I have to say this to you. If you are following our news, despite the fact that we have had, in terms of the budgetary constraints, to do everything, we've also applied. I think 2 weeks ago, we made a statement in the news where we're saying we've applied to the presidential office to utilize the PYEI so that we are able to fill in those vacant posts. In fact, last week we're appointing about 100 of them in one of our institutes, because we want to ensure that incrementally, as we get the green light from other institutions that are helping us to discharge our responsibilities through ensuring that they support us, so that we are able to address everything that we need to do. Remember, currently, in terms of the compensation of employees, the department is The budget is leaning towards that. But with the help that and the partnership that we are having now, we are able to relieve the pressure. For instance, I'm saying to you, we've even written to the presidency to say, give us a space from this PYEI so that we can also appoint people, even if it's on a contract basis, for up until 2027, so that schools are not left not functioning. Rather, offices could be the ones that are limping, because remember, we are all supporting the school to function better. For instance, we're a back office of the schools. Therefore, we need to prioritize our key objective, that is providing public quality education through appointing educators, through appointing deputy principals, through appointing principals. That cannot happen if we do not do these things. Hence, we've gone into partnerships, we've gone into next time to ensure that every vacant post in the province is filled.
So essentially, the department in the Eastern Cape is pinched financially. What do you put this down to? Why have you found yourself in a position where you are not able to meet your targets?
Look, it's not a matter of we're not meeting our targets. Remember, there are variables that are increasing on these issues. On the budget that we have, we must ensure that we provide the schools with the resources, or we resource them functionally, properly, and we also appoint a human resource and. With that budget that we have, we have made sure that all that needed to happen, for instance, of the 53 that we have filled in about 52,000 plus. The outstanding ones are the ones that I'm saying to you. We fill them using the Provincial Youth Employment Initiative. 2, we are also partnering with the cities to ensure that we get these people to the positions that they need to go to. Because ultimately, like I was saying to that, there are only 76 posts. We want to make sure that ultimately no schools comes to us and say, well, I'm having a shortage of teachers, I'm having a shortage of books, I'm having a shortage of this. Hence, coupling this, I said to you, we're not only resourcing schools to be functioning, we're also resourcing districts. Hence, we had the district centralization process that we are undergoing to ensure that even districts are able to support their schools, because ours as the provincial office is to monitor the implementation of the policy. But the recent issues have made us to tap into that, so that at the end of the day we can realize our core business, which is providing public quality education. It can only be provided once we have all the educators that we are talking about. Hence, the MEC and the SG or the HOD are going all out to ensure that the 76 that is there is filled, so that if there's any other thing that we need to do, we can do it. Another thing that we need to take into consideration is that the issue of the educator posts is like a moving target, because the national attritions are contributing to those, despite the fact that you may have looked at the fact that we appointed others up, then the lower ones were vacant. Keep in mind that others are not getting new jobs. They are retiring, others are dying, others are getting new appointments somewhere outside the system. That causes us to say on a daily basis there is a need for educators. Hence, we have the databases that is managed by the district, so that should you move, let's assume that you're post level 1, should you move a gated post as a post level 2, you are able to contribute immensely and positively in the department's strategy.
Okay, Mr. Mtima, just to put it on record, you deny this report that the province is experiencing a hole in terms of vacancies of 1,974. Unfortunately, we have lost our connection to Malibongwe. Mtima, denying essentially a report that the Eastern Cape Education Department is experiencing a vacancy of almost 2,000 teaching posts. According to him, only 76 posts are vacant, and so we'll continue to get more on the story